just in the car the other night talking to Craylee about we were coming from some of the rinks over in Minnesota, and how a little bit different than our rink, and some of the differences in different rinks that we play in. And we're talking about, I think it was, and then we were in Altoona, and we thought it was pretty cold, and we were talking about how cold that was. And she made the comment, she's like, boy, I love our rink in River Falls. And I said, really? She's like, yeah, it's just all my memories are there. I know how it works, and I just love the feeling when you walk in. I love the smell when we walk in. It just feels like home every time we go in the Wildcat Center. And I said, I love it. It's so cool that you think that. I'm glad you have a lot of pride in our hometown rink here, and I think it's a special place. I think about the memories just I've made as a parent, and sitting there in the lobby after waiting on practice to get over, or when a game's over, and working the concession stand, and even, I mean, hell, my two younger ones have grown up in that rink, running around and hiding from me up top there when I didn't know they were up there, and just so many memories. But it was cool for me to hear her talk about how special that place was to her. And she's only 13, and it's clearly had an impact on her life. I'm an Indiana guy originally, transplanted, but I really love it here. Spent my whole life around athletics. I had two older brothers that were in sports, and my dad was a collegiate athlete, and so I really don't know life much without it. It kind of shaped everything of who I am. As I look back, I think about all the things and lessons I learned from. It's where I had my first friends. I mean, I think about my friends in my first year of biddy basketball or youth baseball. That whole group is still the guys that were standing in my wedding. Those are the crew that I still hang out with today. So just great relationships, great memories, the teamwork, and I think the community pride. One of the things I really love. One of the things I love about this community, it reminds me of my small hometown back in Indiana, where so much pride in playing for your town and representing the area, and so when I went to college and was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. Very quickly during my collegiate academic and athletic career, I knew I couldn't see myself in my life without athletics involved in my life. It had to be a part of who I was. And so it's really what shaped the profession that I wanted to get in. I didn't know I'd end up being a head baseball coach and a head football coach at the college level. It wasn't exactly where I thought I'd end up, but I knew that I needed athletics in my life. I knew it had to be a part of my profession in some way. And a lot of that was shaped from the success I had in youth sports, and the time that I had, and how that fed right into being a high school athlete. And again, I almost consider myself a weirdo when it comes to sports. I love sports so much. It's always been a part of who I am from a little kid. I thought about coaching pro sports when I was a little kid, and so it's been such a big part of who I am, and really it's why I'm here. Got three little ones, I guess not all little here now. Craylee 13, Hudson 8, and Townsend 6. One little boy, the other older two are girls. Craylee very involved in the hockey piece. It's really what she's passionate about and loves it. And here we are, this Indiana family that knew nothing about hockey, and now I've become a weird hockey dad like the rest of everybody else up here, but she absolutely loves it. But also a good soccer player, has been involved in softball. She's playing volleyball. Again, it's just a part of who we are. My wife, but she was a college athlete as well, played volleyball in college. Her dad was a Division I basketball player. Again, my dad's a two-sport college athlete in football and baseball. So again, such a part of who we are. And Hudson, she's still kind of trying it all. I'm a believer in trying it all. I really think it's important for these kids to try everything, and they'll find their passion. I think that, again, I work in college athletics. I hear all these people talk about the scholarship stuff and getting my kid ready for this, and the small percentage of kids that get scholarships is so minute. People don't quite understand it. Let these kids go have fun, learn life lessons, be passionate. If they end up playing college ball, great. But Hudson's playing some softball. She's talking some hockey maybe. Really enjoys being around it. We love the atmosphere. Again, we talked about, boy, when Craylee's through, we'll really miss the tournaments and being around those parents and those things. Townsend's still trying it all with baseball and the youth football, and so we're kind of dabbling in everything with all three of them, and really enjoying it along the way. Again, one of the things unique about this area is no matter what association you become a part of or what group you join, you're around good people, and I think every association and groups go through their ups and downs, and there's squabbles here and there, but at the end of the day, these are good people. They're in it for the right reasons, and we've been very happy and fortunate, we think, in all the sports that we've been a part of in the youth levels and in the community. The world's changing, and too many people are trying to focus. Again, it's my opinion. A lot of philosophical debates on it, but I played 3 sports in high school. I played 2 in college. I can't imagine my experience without playing the multiple sports that I did. Again, the idea that as these kids are 8 and 9 and 10, and even 13, that we're going to start specifically and individually training them for one sport to go to college or professionally. Again, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but it's asinine to me. It's ludicrous to me to think about. Again, I'm around college athletics. I know the small percentage of people that actually get that money to play in college. And again, I had some of the opportunity, but I chose not to. I went to Division III because I wanted to play 2 sports. And again, I can't imagine my experience without playing both sports, even at the college level. So I just think it's super important. I think back at myself, again, I'm very fortunate to have a successful collegiate and even some beyond college career. And boy, when I was 13 years old, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. I still wasn't a very good player. I thought I was going to be an NBA basketball player when I was 13 years old. So again, I'm not trying to offend these parents that are trying to plan their kids' future when they're 10 years old, but let the kids go play multiple sports. Let them go learn to skate and try the hockey thing. And if they don't like it, go play basketball or football or baseball. Let them play sports, man. Give them a chance and opportunity to try some different things. I think it's a variety of things. I think number one, I see the friendships built around athletics, whether you're a person that believes strongly in the athletic side of things or not. Boy, I just see the passionate relationships with these kids. They're walking downtown and they're high-fiving because they're on the same team. Or again, I know there's people making friends in other pockets of life outside of athletics, but the relationships we make are awfully powerful in my experience, from youth on to collegiate sports. When we make them in sports, it just seems to be passionate. The idea of teamwork, again, sounds like a elementary stock answer, but boy, in today's world, to get, I think about it with our guys here, to get that many people from that many different backgrounds and different experiences to come together for one common goal, it's as challenging as it's ever been. And this youth sports stuff teaches them that. We can get them to work together, and they know they got to sort things out together. And I think about, Crayley playing the hockey stuff, starting to hear stories of them talking in the locker room about figuring out how to win games and what they need to do as a team to come together better. And I just kind of sit and listen, and her conversations have changed. It used to be all about the drama and who was sick and who did this today, and now their locker room conversations are starting to be teamwork stuff and how to build together. And so I think the discipline thing is something unique. Again, as youth coaches, we got to be careful how we treat these athletes, and clearly we can't maybe have the same type of discipline that I can have over the college athletes here, but it does teach them discipline and how to work hard and the urgency of doing things right. So I think there's so many benefits and values of playing youth sports. I can remember as a we called it biddy basketball back in Indiana there. Here's this group of us, and we all remained friends all the way through middle school, high school. Again, most of them stood in my wedding currently, but we won this big title. I think it was state title or something. And again, I already mentioned, we thought we were all going to be NBA basketball players. That was who we are at the time. 2 of us played high school basketball from that team. None of us played collegiate basketball. We all learned in a hurry that we were, 6'2" and weren't going to play college ball. But just thinking at the time how special that was, and this idea how I wanted to be an NBA basketball player so bad, and I thought, boy, I just won this big title. This was really going to happen, and how wrong I was. Again, it relates back to go play other sports, man. Go have other experiences. I can remember as a 7th grader, county championship basketball game. We're playing, it's called South Montgomery, our big rivalry there, and we're down 2. I bank in a half-court shot as a 7th grader at the buzzer, and I'll never forget it. And I'm jumping up and down, and here come all my teammates and hugging me, and I'm this little fat 7th grade kid who hadn't grown yet. And they're hugging me, and I can remember my best friend, Brian Lynn. He's got his arm around me so tight, he's starting to choke me out. And I throw up on the court. I puke on the court in front of everybody after hitting this game-winning shot and just kind of spread the crowd. And, of course, it was, referred to a lot throughout my high school and life career there in my hometown. But it was the famous puke after the half-court shot game.
Now everybody in River Falls knows.
That's right.